Wow, what a blast. Keltec Sub 2000 Gen 3. We typically do not put that much ammunition in one sitting through any gun. That's because we do not have ammo sponsors. So we buy our own ammunition and we shoot the cheapest stuff that we can get at that moment. And in this case, it was the Blazer ammunition, 115 grain aluminum casing. That's what we shot. Give us grief about it if you want to, that's fine, but the way I see it is, if it'll run that, it'll run your high-end, fabulous, awesome ammunition that you choose to use. So, like I said, this is the Gen 3 of the Keltec Sub 2000. I did have the Gen 2. I sold it. I kind of had mixed feelings about selling it, but I did sell it for the reason that they claimed or to have fixed on this model. So, and that is that when I would fold it up, it would fold over top of itself, and as you can see, you're going to lose your optic. You have to take it off, and then each time you want to go out to the range, or you find yourself just sitting it up in the corner and never folding it up. And so when you go out to the range for transportation, you want to fold it up, put it in a bag. What I found myself doing is just putting it in a rifle bag, which kind of defeats the whole purpose, right, of it being foldable and compact to put it in a backpack. With that being said, before we talk about that mechanism, I just want to say this, that folding it up, I mean, honestly, with the optic hanging off like this and your flip up sights, if you were to leave those up, I do have the UTG flip up sights on here. Everyone always asks me what flip up sights I have. That's what I have up here. And is it really that much more compact? I mean, with my 4-in grip here, with my angled foregrip, with my sights, with my Vortex Spark Solar up here, is it really that much more compact? I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. My favorite PCC as of late is the Smith & Wesson FPC, and as you know, it folds in half back to you, and so your optic is still up and down. So in that case, it kind of is more compact. It's folding and it's still more compact than this is. So I don't know if it's more compact. I stand here today with mixed feelings about it. I started out very aggravated because in the first 5 or 6 magazines, well, yeah, maybe 3 or 4 mags, I was having some issues where it would not eject the spent casing. And it would drive it into the front of the ejection port here, and it would try to feed another round in there. So you would have to lock it back, drop your mag, pick up your casing, or pick up your round that had not been fired, put it back in your magazine, and then do it all over again, right? It become kind of aggravating. But I will say this, that after about 45, maybe 50 rounds, we put 250 through it. 200 after that was completely flawless. We shot it suppressed. With our rugged suppressor, Obsidian 9, had no problems. Typically, if you're going to have a problem with one being, with one feeding or having feeding issues, it will be while it is suppressed. Had no issue shooting it suppressed, although that was towards the very end, so I would say the last 50 rounds or so when we were shooting it suppressed, but did not have any problem suppressed. And I hate the whole maybe it broke in thing. I hate using that terminology. I can't stand when people say that. I don't like the whole idea of having to break in guns. I want to be able to shoot them right out of the box without issue. And I will say that 95% of the guns that I shoot or have interaction with, that is the case. I'm able to shoot it right out of the box without a problem. But for the sake of argument, let's say that it broke in, okay? And maybe, just maybe, I was shooting this 21 round P-Mag. I have 2 Glock 19 mags, 3 actually, and I have a Glock 19 P-Mag. But I also have this 21 round mag, and one thing that I'll say is that since this is a Glock 19 grip profile, unlike my Gen 2, which was a Glock 17, I wish they would have made this a Glock 17 grip. I don't know why they changed that. Maybe there's a reason with the new folding mechanism or whatever, but I'm not really sure why they changed this to a Glock 19 profile on the grip here. But in doing that, it makes me want to put an extended mag in there in order to get a better grip. And this magazine is super wobbly inside of here, and I think maybe on a couple of occasions, because I was gripping it so tight, that it was causing it to have a feeding issue. So to eliminate that, I didn't use this magazine anymore. I went to using my Glock and my P-Mag that it came with, because it only came with one magazine, and I still had a couple of feeding issues with that. Now, when these mags in here, yes, they still move around, but you're not able to, you can still move it a little bit with your pinky finger. And so I don't know about that. I don't know why they wobble around, or if it'll get worse with time. All I can say is I don't know that that's what was causing the issue. It looks as though it may have very well been the dreaded break-in, because like I said, the last 210 rounds or so was completely flawless, no problem. So on the folding, the one thing that I don't like about it, again, is it really compact? I don't really know like that. I don't know if it's compact or not with all this going on, but it's more compact, I guess, if you will. I can more easily put this inside of something. So whatever, I'm not going to argue with you about that. But one of the issues I have is that you can over rotate this thing. So you get used to pulling it up, rotating it, slamming it into place. But what I mean by you can over rotate it, because this thing goes left or it goes right, and I can only assume that's for, you know, ambidextrous applications, where I have a 6-slot pick rail right here for if I wanted to mount a light up here for home defense or whatever. And so that's going to be on the left side for me, of course. And if there was a a lefty, is probably going to be over here on the right side. So I imagine that's the reason they done it, was to kind of make it, you know, ambidextrous. And I guess in making it that way, they succeeded in doing that, except for that when you unfold it, there is a possibility to over rotate it, and you can't slam it down, and you find yourself doing that till you find the perfect spot. So deploying this thing fast, I don't know. You get lucky sometimes, I'm telling you. If you sit out here and practice with it, you might get good, but I will say that you do get lucky sometimes when you're sitting here playing with it and you get it the first time. But I'm not under stress. I would say in a stressful situation, I'm probably gonna die. Just to be honest with you, I'm not gonna get it open in time. So for me, if I had this, I see PCCs as a very formidable home defense. So for me, it's never gonna be folded up anyway. I got this thing zeroed. I got the the flip up sights, I got them on point. So for me, this is gonna sit in my house. If I decide to keep it and use it for home defense, it's gonna sit up in the corner, completely unfolded, and one in the chamber and ready to go. That's how it's gonna be. It's never gonna get folded up. And if I did take it to the range, you know, of course, yeah, I would fold the gun up to make it more compact, lay it in the floor or whatever. I don't know, mixed feelings. I wish that this was still a Glock 17 grip profile, so that I could get a full grip on there without having to use an extended magazine, because with a magazine that loose, I think that could very well cause some problems. The safety is kind of weird. It kind of has this lip around the safety, which makes it very odd, to say the least, to try to manipulate. I don't know, I can't remember if on the old one it was that way or not. And I mean if it was further up here, it might be better, because you could just, you know, touch it with the end of your thumb and not really adjust your grip on the gun right up in here somewhere. But because it's way back here and it's got this freaking lip right here, it makes it very weird to manipulate the safety. And it's kind of sticky, to be honest, which I'm sure it would probably break in. Again, just like on the original one, the charging handle, I mean, you really have to charge that thing with purpose, is what I'm trying to say. You can't be no sissy about it, right? But, you know, I I've never heard anybody say this. Maybe they have, but because I haven't heard them, I'm gonna say that I'm the one that invented this. But you got the H&K slap. Well, now I have the Keltec slap. Now that's pretty cool. I like that. I like being able to do that. And yes, for Trey, you can lock it this way and slap it for the lefties too. So hooray for the wrong-handed people out there. All in all, I mean, it's mostly just like the original one. I mean, for me, this whole folding thing is really not going to matter because, again, I'm not going to fold it up unless I'm taking it out to the range. If I use this for defense in any application, which would be home defense, it's going to set up in the corner just like this, and it's never going to matter. What I wish they would have done, because that just feels odd, right? I mean, honest to God, you feel like you're going to break it every time you move that trigger. I was afraid I was going to break it in the store and they were going to have to send it back for warranty and make me buy it before they did. That's how it just feels. You know, with that being said, it hasn't broke. I mean, I have been pretty rough with it out here today, and it has not broke. So, you know, right here on the connection point, and you always love folding up a gun and having no choice except for to point the barrel at you, safety in mind, safety first. I mean, you know, it is what it is. But this connection point right here where it connects with this lever, this trigger lever, if you will, that's what I'm gonna call it. They're both plastic. So down in here is plastic and this is plastic where it locks together. See how I missed it there? It over rotates. And I can only imagine that if you were one to fold it up often, fold it up a lot, I could only imagine that that's gonna wear. I mean, it's plastic, how could it not wear? You sit here and you just keep on doing this, keep on slamming it back into place. I mean, how could that not wear? I mean, I don't see any wear on it, and I've probably done that maybe 100 times, and it doesn't seem to have been worn yet. I don't know. I guess time will tell. And if you notice right there, what happened right there, there have been a couple of times today, although I didn't get it on camera, it was when I was zeroing it, when I was really slamming it down with purpose, and a couple of times when doing so, it ain't gonna do it now because I'm trying, the charging handle come flying forward. So maybe I didn't have it locked back, I don't know. I'm not saying that that's a thing, I'm not saying it's a flaw, you know, leave the ugly comments to yourself. I'm simply saying that it happened to me a couple of times. Maybe I didn't have it locked back good enough. I don't know if that's even a thing. Does have the original, you know, 3-slot, if you will, adjustable stock here. Just push in your release button here, push your pin out, move it back, move it forward, however you want to do it. You can adjust it. I did pull mine all the way back, and when doing so, it causes my release button to be down inside of here now rather than flush with the back of the stock, as you can see, which, you know, kind of sucks, but whatever. My thumb's not so fat that it won't go down in there to release it. So, it got the cheese grater stock up here still. I mean, I don't know why for the life of me that they still have this stock 3 generations later. Here we are. It's not the most comfortable thing to shoot because of that. I mean, no, I'm not sore. I'm not a, you know, little sissy like I'm sure people will say, you know how people are. But I wish that they, Gen 3, come on, man, put a little bit of padding on that, make that a little bit better. That is some hard, rough plastic right there. And it just makes it less comfortable to shoot. It could be a lot more fun with a little bit better stock on there. Again, pick rail on the top. Obviously, you can see that I do have flip-up sights here, and they do 1/3 co-witness with this optic here. So you can put your flip-ups. Obviously, you can put your red dot up here. You do have these M-LOK rail attachments places on the side here. I do have an M-LOK 6-slot Picatinny rail here for my flashlight, and also I do, as I said already, I do have my AFG angled foregrip attached here because you do have this full length pick rail across the top and about a half pick rail across the bottom, and on each side you do have the M-LOK. Very, very reminiscent of the original. I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it. Anytime a gun malfunctions on me, Trey knows how hard I am on stuff. I expect perfection, and it did malfunction in the first 40 rounds or so about 6 times. Every single time it was where the spent casing did not fully eject. It pushed it forward, jammed it in here, and it tried to feed another round. That was the failure each and every time, and it's just aggravating. It'll piss you off, but it redeemed itself, if you will, as it did stop doing that after about 40-45 rounds. So over 200 rounds, completely flawless. Shot suppressed with it completely flawless. 1/2 by 28. There is no O-ring on this thread protector, but it never did walk off. It might have loosened up a little bit, but it never even come close to walking off. Shot suppressed just fine. No malfunctions while doing that whatsoever. So all in all, I'm happy with it. $400. That's the thing you need to remember the most. It's $400. It's a $400 PCC, and for that price, absolutely I would buy it again. I don't regret buying it, and I don't think if you bought it you would either. Just know that it may need to be broken in just a little bit, and it should be fine. Guys, really thank you for watching today. Make sure you go over and check out our website at gsquaredtactical.com. Pick up some shirts, pick up some hats. We have coasters. We have cup holder coasters for your car, keychains, bottle openers. Go over there, help support us so we can make a few dollars to try to get some ammunition and so forth. And make sure you subscribe. It's the only way we can keep doing this. Tell everybody where they can find the best blue collar YouTube reviews. Thanks again. God bless you. There you have it.